you for coming today and being with us for our new video series of Top Engineering Challenge winners. And we welcome you.
Thank you, Alexandra.
We'll have 3 parts. So the first part is a brief introduction. So if you could firstly introduce yourself briefly, that'd be great.
Great. So, hi, everybody. My name is Karl Grimsehl. I'm a mechanical engineer, born in South Africa. Been in the engineering game, probably between 10 and 15 odd years. Finished my degree at the University of Pretoria, then followed with an honours in design at the same university. Registered as a professional engineer with the Engineering Council of South Africa. Started off in the design of medical devices, was a lecturer for a few years after that, and my current daytime job is in green technologies and infrastructure.
Okay, great. And so you're currently living in South Africa?
Yes, Pretoria, South Africa.
Okay, great. And then what exactly do you dedicate yourself to? You're mentioning medical devices?
Yes, it was, well, my first few years as an engineer was in medical devices. Currently, my daytime job is in green technologies in public infrastructure, but my passion still remains design engineering. So I've got a small, very, 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 very small moonlighting design engineering company, which keeps me out of trouble in the evenings.
Okay, great.
And it's through that vessel which I attend or do these challenges.
Okay, lovely, lovely. And why did you choose engineering as your studies?
I probably need a drink to answer this one. No. It was just something I always wanted to do. Since I can remember, I wanted to be a designer. As a small little kid running around, I had my little book which I made drawings of cars with flying wings and all those stuff. And so since I was little, wanted to be a designer, wanted to be an innovator. Pretty much. And the engineering was the direction best suited to what I wanted to do.
Okay, great. And now we're going to be moving to part 2. So we're going to go deeper in depth of motivations for participating in the engineering challenges. Therefore, I'd like to ask you, how did you find Enomotive?
Believe it or not, you guys actually found me. Through LinkedIn. Patty once sent out an invitation and said, "Hey, do you want to join this?" And it really looked very, very interesting. And that was, I think it was 2018 or something. And since then, yes, I've had a few, participated in a few of your challenges.
Yeah, okay, great. And speaking of, what was a challenge you participated in and why did you decide to participate?
Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit. On my other screen, I've got a list open of everything I've participated with you guys.
That's great.
It started off with a copper nanofiber challenge. Then I had a sediment challenge. You had a challenge regarding CNG pumping station a while ago, the cooling of a vehicle, road lineators, your ventilator challenge. I also had a quick dab in, and your smart mask, and the latest one is your fishing one. Yes. Your fishing challenge. Yes.
Okay, correct. So for the first challenge you decided to participate in, why?
For that one, I actually just wanted to check out how it works. So it was your copper nanofiber challenge. It was a interesting. Just I browsed your website and looked, this might be fun, and I might have a solution. And that was basically my motivation every time.
Okay, great. And did you invest a lot of time preparing in your first submission?
I want to say on average, I probably spend on a first round submission, minimum of 8 hours, up to 32 odd hours for a first round submission, depending on the challenge. Just yeah, it's difficult to judge, but it's mostly it. If the challenge, yes, this is going to sound really corny, but if the challenge speaks to you and you really want to work on it and it's a fun thing to do, you kind of lose track on how much time you spend.
Okay, great. No, I absolutely agree. And did you want to win or simply gain experience throughout all these challenges that you've participated in?
Mm, the, the primary focus, I would say, is to um, okay. So we go into engineering for the fun and excitement of it. After a while, you kind of get sucked into a more senior management type of thing.
Mhm.
So challenges like these, for me, is kind of a way to rekindle my love for engineering. So primary focus would be just the fun of it, the fact that you've got a challenge in your challenge
Yeah.
that you would want to try and solve and use the tools you've gained to see what cool solution you can come up for this thing. That'd probably be the primary focus, but the funds and the prize money, it motivates you to continue. So the challenge title would entice me to enter into a challenge, but the fact that there's a prize reward at the end is probably the reason why I finished them.
Okay, great, great.
Mm.
And let's say, did you have any prior experience with these types of challenges? For example, the one you're currently working on, the one of plastic?
Mhm. Okay, sorry, it's not the one with that's the fishing challenge
The fishing
in
challenge.
Honduras.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Well, no real experience in that. Yeah, been went fishing every once in a while, but yes, yeah. No, so no real previous experience in that one. In some of them, I've had previous experience.
Okay.
For example, the car cooling challenge. I was actually looking into natural ventilation for as in another project. So my knowledge level was quite high with that specific challenge, but some of them are completely from scratch. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, great. And then we are going to move to part three, which is finalizing learning moments.
Hmm.
And I'd like to ask you, so for example, for the challenge that you won, how did you come up with the solution?
Um, so for that one, that was the cooling of the vehicle challenge. I piggybacked quite a lot on the knowledge which I've already had in that field. So I want to say you'll start with your design problem and you'll discretize it down to a certain level, and then you rummage your current toolbox and see what solutions can actually fit into this specific scenario. Um, that would have been um, well, partially some of the method with respect to that one. Um, so yeah, some of the others, it's just if you sit and you think about the problem, and you go to bed with a problem. It's not as easy as going to bed with a problem and waking up with a solution, but you wrap your thoughts around the problem you're facing, and then you kind of visualize what's going on, and through that visualization of your problem, you see opportunities. Um, hmm. And you
Okay,
take those opportunities and try to convert it into something tangible.
of course. Okay, that's great. And let's say for that challenge, did you work independently or within a group?
Mostly independently. Mm.
Independently. Okay. And as a extra question, What do you
Hmm?
believe are the benefits if you were to have worked in a group instead of independently? What do you believe is
Um,
better?
so it depends on the structure of a group. Um, there's some other saying that if you want to go far, you go alone. But no, if you want to go quick, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go in a group.
Hmm.
So there's working in a group environment. It slows down the process a little bit, but there's so I'm talking now about a group with the same disciplines in it.
Hmm.
Um, so it tends to slow down the innovative process a little bit, but you get a more rugged solution from it.
Okay.
On another part, you'll also get your multidisciplinary groups. And if you've got people with different skill sets working on the same problem and tackling it from different angles, you've got people that work to each other's strengths. That's always great.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, great. And then I wanted to ask you, how was working remotely for a foreign company, and would you do it again?
No, I would love to do it again. Um, but it was actually relatively seamless. Um, there was, yeah, no, I think the fact that I've also got the company on my side might have made it a little bit easier um, to do some of the paperwork. I'm talking now about if receiving the funds from Innomotive.
Hmm.
But for the rest, the world is really small these days. Um, there's, yeah, okay, there's some cultural differences which is always present. But within shoot, 3 or 4 meetings, you tend to find out what those are and you work around it. Language is also not say a problem, but there's some language hindrances coming in here and there.
Hmm.
For example, your fishing challenge, there's a link to a video which is in Spanish.
Of course.
So as a person that doesn't speak Spanish, I kind of need to lip read a little bit about what's going on over there.
Of course.
But none of these challenges are insurmountable. It's almost trivial. Yeah,
It makes you gain more experience, right? Practice
exactly,
language.
exactly. Yes.
Okay. And to finalize the interview, I would like to ask you, what recommendations or what advice would you give to other engineers?
um, you are not as good as you think you are. uh, no, I think one of the engineering is there's a lot of you're only as good as your last design. It doesn't matter how people say you're awesome, you did a great job. It doesn't matter how much praise you had in the past or how much challenges you've won. Every challenge is a new challenge. Every design problem, every engineering problem is a new problem. Um, yes, and you need to start from scratch for every one of those issues. Um, and there's always somebody out there that's better than you at this. You will never reach the top of your game, and even if you reach the top of your game, you will only be there for a small amount of time. You need to keep humble and do the work for the sake of the work. It's not about the recognition. You know why you wanted to become an engineer. Very few people go through a 4 to 7 year course at varsity because they want recognition or they want money. They do it because they like what they're doing. Um, Continue with that. Focus on why you wanted to do this. It's not about the recognition. It's about having fun with what you're doing. And the rest is kind of, if you're lucky enough, great. If you're not, awesome. You're still having fun. Yeah,
That's great advice, Carl. Thank you.
thanks.
And
Yeah.
to finalize the interview, well, once again, thank you for your time. We loved having you, and hopefully, we will be in communication with you soon.
Okay, no, thank you. Thanks.
Great.
And thanks
Great.
for thinking of me. Appreciate it.
No, of course, of course. Thank you, and hope to talk to you soon.